Tonight on NewsVision, President Trump has authorized the release of the Epstein files. We'll tell you how politicians are reacting and what to expect in the coming days. Plus, we'll show you how one nonprofit is spreading cheer for families in need this holiday season.
I believe that we're going to be better and end up in a better place, and that's just I want to pay it forward.
And later on, we'll introduce you to one young girl who packs a punch and is knocking out stereotypes at her local boxing ring.
I just love it, actually. I just want to open doors for other girls and see that it's you could put anything you want to do. You just have to work for it.
All these stories and a lot more on tonight's special hour-long show. And it starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to the hour-long edition and final episode of NewsVision for the semester. I'm Lauren Harrington.
And I'm Jessica Valdez. Thank you for joining us. A major update in the Jeffrey Epstein files saga, the House of Representatives has come together to approve the release of the Epstein files, setting off a chain of events that led straight to the White House.
The yeas are 427, the nays are 1.
And with that, on Tuesday, both chambers of Congress overwhelmingly passed the Epstein Files Transparency Act, sending it to President Trump, who then signed it into law. It requires the Department of Justice to release files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, such as unclassified documents, communications, and investigative materials. This comes after President Trump made a sharp reversal on previous statements where he criticized the potential release of the files, now saying Republicans have nothing to hide and instead blaming Democrats.
We have nothing to do with Epstein, the Democrats do. All of his friends were Democrats. You look at this Reid Hoffman, you look at Larry Summers, Bill Clinton, they went to his island all the time, and many others, they're all Democrats.
Just last week, Trump directed the Department of Justice to investigate several high-profile Democrats for their ties to Epstein.
That's another thing that bothers me about the announcement the president made is he named Democrats and things that he was going to investigate. These survivors are not partisan. They don't belong to one party, and the perpetrators aren't either.
Some files have already been released by different congressional committees, putting politicians on both sides of the aisle under the spotlight. Like Trump, Minority Leader of the House of Representatives Hakeem Jeffries, former President Bill Clinton, and the U.S. Virgin Islands Delegate Stacey Plaskett have all gotten attention for their ties to Epstein. Among the documents already released, an email from a political consulting firm inviting Epstein to a Democratic Party fundraising dinner to meet Hakeem Jeffries.
I have no recollection of the email. I've never had a conversation with him, never met him, know nothing about him other than the extreme things that he's been convicted of doing.
Many politicians from both sides of the aisle are dismissing the release of the files, with President Trump calling it a Democrat hoax and Minority Leader Jeffries calling it political theater. Now, the question is, when will Americans see what is in the rest of the files? That is up to the Department of Justice, and ongoing investigations could complicate that process. The act gives the DOJ 30 days to comply and make public all files related to the Epstein's case.
Thousands of people in North Carolina are protesting to demand an end to ICE's newest mission targeting the city of Charlotte, called Operation Charlotte's Web, which is a reference to the classic children's book with the same name. Just days after ICE announced it was pulling out of Chicago, a new operation in North Carolina began, and thousands are taking to the streets to criticize the Trump administration's immigration crackdowns. Among those, the granddaughter of the author of Charlotte's Web, who said her grandfather did not believe in masked men and raiding people's homes. Local politicians and residents of the Tar Heel state say they are on edge following the recent raids, causing some businesses to close their doors and shift operations.
They're just sweeping sidewalks, they're sweeping parking lots, they're going into stores and churches. This is causing widespread fear, widespread uncertainty. This is not about public safety, and I wish that it were.
The Trump administration has claimed ICE has made more than 250 arrests since they arrived only a few days ago. Beyond Charlotte, ICE has threatened to carry out operations in New Orleans and Memphis, but those have yet to happen.
Venezuelan dictator Nicolás Maduro has said he is open to direct talks with the Trump administration as tensions rise in the region. Maduro is asking for diplomacy instead of military action, as the U.S. Navy's most advanced aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald R. Ford, has joined American warships off of Venezuela's coastline. Trump says he is willing to speak with Maduro, but deploying U.S. troops into Venezuelan territory is still on the table.
And we may be having some discussions with Maduro, and we'll see how that turns out. They would like to talk.
The U.S. Department of Justice has indicted Maduro and several top Venezuelan officials, accusing them of narco-terrorism. Trump has claimed Maduro is the head of the terrorist drug cartel Tren de Aragua, and has even gone as far as doubling a bounty for any information leading to Maduro's arrest, which now stands at $50 million US. Maduro says this is just another American attempt at regime change, even singing John Lennon's Imagine in front of a crowd of hundreds. As of November 14th, the U.S. military has carried out 20 strikes against alleged drug-running boats, many just off of the coast of Venezuela.
In other Trump news, the U.S. president hosted the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia at the White House this week, welcoming Saudi Arabia as a major non-NATO ally. The Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, expressed his support for U.S. and pledged investments in the country totaling over $1 trillion. While in the Oval Office, a reporter asked bin Salman about his 2018 assassination of Saudi Arabian journalist Jamal Khashoggi in the Saudi consulate in Turkey, something that has been confirmed by the CIA. President Trump then criticized the reporter for asking that question.
He's done a phenomenal job. You're mentioning somebody that was extremely controversial. A lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about. Whether you like him or didn't like him, things happen. But he knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that.
Trump and bin Salman also agreed to a sale of F-35 fighter jets to Saudi Arabia and implied the president would intervene diplomatically in the ongoing Sudanese civil war at the request of the Crown Prince.
And President Trump has found an unlikely ally in another international conflict. It's rapper Nicki Minaj. Trump has threatened Nigeria with military action over the alleged targeting of Christians in the country. He pointed to experts who say militant groups have carried out attacks targeting Christians in Nigeria, though similar attacks also target Muslims. Minaj, who is a Christian herself, got involved when she tweeted, "No group shall ever be persecuted for practicing their religion. We don't have to share the same beliefs in order for us to respect each other." She spoke alongside U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Mike Waltz, during an event on Tuesday.
Faith is under attack in way too many places. In Nigeria, Christians are being targeted, driven from their homes, and killed.
President Trump has vowed to put an end to the violence, but Nigeria denies any wrongdoing, describing the president's claims as a gross misrepresentation of reality.
Now it's time for a short break, but coming up on NewsVision, Turkey Day is just a week away, and many organizations across Miami are lending a hand to make the holiday special. Plus, more campus construction. Find out the latest upgrades happening here after the break.
Hey, Kevin, you thinking about retirement?
Of course I've thought about it, but there's all this stuff in the way.
Oh, you're not kidding.
The house, the kids are going to college.
My new car.
Car? You bought a new car?
Oh, hey, you should meet my friend Avo. Avo's a retirement coach. He'll help get you started.
But what does Avo tell you to do?
You don't know? Focus on your future. Your goals can still be met.
But how?
Target your tomorrow. And use the Avo bet.
You sing?
Not really. A is for taking action. Start off with a plan.
You built these letters?
Yep. V is for variety. There's so many ways you can.
I follow you.
Come on. O's for optimize your savings.
Let Avo lead the way.
Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
Nice sign.
Thanks, I made it myself.
Cool.
Thank you for staying with NewsVision. The country's longest government shutdown is now over, but many are still reeling from the effects. Among them, missing government benefits. Gavin Bishow explains.
After food stamps benefits were cut short, South Florida resident Ravanya Moxie had to turn to the Feeding South Florida food pantry for support.
Been hard, yeah. I have to come here to feed to get my food.
And she is not alone.
So we're almost tripling our numbers. Yesterday alone, we saw 171 clients. Right now, we're seeing majority of walk-in clients. I think yesterday we saw about 89 people walk in just for emergency food resources.
Fellinger says there are a handful of reasons for the recent surge, but one in particular is the main driver.
A lot of it is the shutdown. A lot of it is, not getting the SNAP benefits, which is tied to the shutdown. We have government employees coming in as well who haven't received a paycheck in weeks. So for some of them, they're choosing between paying their bills or putting food on the table.
SNAP is the acronym for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, which is America's biggest food assistance system. Otherwise known as food stamps, the program serves more than 41 million Americans, mostly senior citizens, disabled people, and children. Of them, 3 million are Floridians, like Ravanya. SNAP benefits are free to apply for and can only be used to pay for household food items. The maximum benefit one person can receive in a month is just under $300. When the distribution of SNAP benefits were affected during the most recent government shutdown that lasted the longest in U.S. history, many Floridians reported missing or partial benefits.
I get some benefit, like my check. That's the only thing that's holding me whole. But I know one thing, it's hurting a lot of people that got sick kids and stuff like that. They need it.
Imagine this grocery cart filled with a week's worth of food. That's what SNAP brings to the table. And for families wondering whether you qualify for SNAP or not, it comes down to two factors: income and household size. For example, a family of 4 must make under $40,000 a year to be eligible for benefits. And for those that don't qualify, programs like Feeding South Florida can still help.
So utilize us as a resource. We have partner agencies, 260, I think, 260 plus. So we have some in Miami.
This is the first time in U.S. history that SNAP benefits have been affected by a government shutdown, despite contingency reserves. Politicians in Washington can't seem to agree who was to blame for the lost funding.
Corrupt Republicans on Capitol Hill are voluntarily and intentionally withholding SNAP benefits.
The president is desperate for SNAP benefits to flow to the American citizens who desperately rely upon it.
But for millions of families around the country, the impact isn't partisan, it's personal. From Miami, Florida, I'm Gavin Bishow, UMTV.
And Feeding South Florida was on hand on Saturday helping another organization that is trying to get people fed. Buddy System Miami hosted a Thanksgiving food distribution at the organization's pantry at the Crossbridge Church in Miami Springs. Donations from local grocery stores and Feeding South Florida provided chickens, turkeys, water, and other necessities to make sure that no one goes hungry this Thanksgiving.
Extremely important, and especially with all the uncertainties with SNAP funding and federal funding for these services and similar ones, I think it's more important now than ever.
Buddy System Miami also has a network of community fridges they consistently stock across Miami, as well as a homebound food service for those who cannot leave their homes. Whether it be at the fridges or their pantry, they accept donations for their efforts.
And speaking of community health initiatives, fresh food can be hard to come by in some Miami neighborhoods. Reporter Melanie Lowe found one program that's growing something special in the community. Melanie, what can you tell us?
Guys, according to Feeding America, 15% of Miami-Dade residents don't know where their next meal is coming from. I visited one organization that aims to end food insecurity, one vegetable at a time.
In neighborhoods where grocery stores are scarce, gardens such as this one in Opa-locka, not far from Miami, are more than transformed parking lots. They're lifelines. The organization that created them is called Health in the Hood, and its mission is to provide free and fresh produce to residents in need.
They need the gardens because the people, they don't have the money to even go into the stores and buy it these days, so it helps a lot, you know what I mean? And to feed the community weekly, it's a big thing. It's a blessing.
The United States Department of Agriculture classifies a food desert as an area of low income with no access to fresh food within 1 mile. South Florida is home to 326 of them. For over 12 years, Health in the Hood has held weekly harvests at their Opelika and Pinewood gardens in Florida. In that time, they've built 10 community gardens and distributed more than 10,000 pounds of food to families in need. The program gives residents the chance to learn about gardening and the benefits of cooking with fresh ingredients. And volunteers say it's about more than just food, it's about options.
But what is close is the fast food restaurants here, McDonald's and Burger King's. So just having somewhere where people can actually get like homegrown goods is very valuable to this community.
And Health in the Hood's mission doesn't just end in these gardens. Every leftover vegetable is distributed to those in need at their community partnership events with local organizations and shelters. In Overtown, Miami's oldest Black neighborhood, the average annual income is about $12,000, less than half of Miami-Dade County's average of $28,000. Program Director Jason Shoemaker says in some areas of the city, access to healthy food is unequal.
I can guarantee you that somebody is eating a much healthier meal if they live in Coral Gables than somebody that lives in Overtown.
Shoemaker says the goal of the program is to change habits, not just diets, for over 200 weekly visitors.
Plant the seeds of change the thoughts around food, and try and get people to experience healthier eating.
And for families, that help makes a big difference.
It's necessary for us because the economy is so expensive right now. So any little help we get is good.
Just to give something to somebody, just in case if they need it.
And to keep these programs running, they depend on the same community they aim to help.
Some people, companies to sponsor a couple pantries for the year, that helps us spread what we can do a lot further and increase what we're doing.
For residents of Opelika, Pinewood, and Overtown, Health in the Hood is growing a healthier future, one harvest at a time. And Health in the Hood says their mission goes beyond growing vegetables and handing them out at distribution centers. They say their goal is to change people's thoughts around food and build permanent healthy habits. To learn more about Health in the Hood's mission or how to get involved, visit their website at www.healthinthehood.org. Melanie Lowe, UMTV.
Thanks, Melanie. And another organization that is trying to help families deal with the high cost of living in South Florida is doing it through a program called Adopt a Family. I met one mother who says this support came at exactly the right time.
It's super fun.
Meet Ariel Brown. She is a single Miami parent who's doing everything she can to provide for her 2 children, supporting her own aging mom and transitioning from public housing to Section 8 for the first time.
We're in the process of moving, honestly, and this is our first time ever moving. Being the fact that we've been where we at for so long and it's a rent down place.
Like many single parents, Ariel is struggling to make ends meet. And with the upcoming holiday season, that struggle is harder.
We need everything, honestly. We need some of everything. Yeah, it's not even about the toys.
Now, a South Florida-based organization called Neighbors for Neighbors is trying to help Ariel and hundreds of others like her. The nonprofit started after Hurricane Andrew more than 30 years ago with one goal: to connect those in need with those who can help. And today, it partners with about 40 organizations across South Florida, providing nearly $500,000 in holiday support each year.
And we are proud to be this staple in the community that's bringing everybody together, especially now. It's harder than it's ever been before for families. There's never a time that I don't cry and just see the joy on both sides, the give and the get.
One of their partners is the Overtown Youth Center, a community hub that offers after-school programs, job trainings, and parenting classes.
We're able to go ahead and support them the best that we can when it comes to anything that they're in need: clothing, shoes, hygiene products, diapers.
And this year, one of the families they are helping is Ariel's.
We were able to help her with helping her with a utility, and then I went ahead and just wanted to select her as a family.
For Ariel, support from the OYC has been nothing short of a lifeline. A village that lets her work, care for her children, and find moments of peace.
I believe that, you know, things happen for a reason, and I believe that this is not it for me or my family. I believe that we're going to be better and end up in a better place, and that's just I want to pay it forward.
For Neighbors and the OYC, Ariel's story is just one of hundreds, but it reminds us that community can change everything.
I'm just looking forward to the matching pajamas. I'm so serious. The matching pajamas, the weather, and just the love, just being in home with them.
Anyone interested in adopting a family can find details at neighborsforneighbors.org. The deadline is only a few weeks away on December 15th.
Current and future UM students can look forward to new proposed plans to expand housing on campus, with the University of Miami announcing efforts to make another dorm complex right here on campus.
Lauren Tomac is live outside Mahoney Pearson Residential College. Lauren, what can students expect from the newly proposed plans?
This summer, the University of Miami is planning on tearing down Mahoney Pearson Residential College and creating a new housing complex, Gables Village. Now, this is going to consist of 2 buildings, Residential College 1 and Residential College 2. Gables Village will feature a mix of double suites, and single rooms, with single suites expected to be the most common option. As they stand, the plans would not increase the amount of beds by a lot, with both towers expected to offer a combined 1,400 beds, 32 more than what Mahoney Pearson already has. And even with the opening of Phase 2 of Centennial Village, removing Mahoney Pearson would still create a deficit of 276 beds for next fall's on-campus student population. But students would see new amenities like study rooms, wellness spaces, recreational lounges, and collaborational areas. And tomorrow, the Coral Gables Department Review Committee will meet to discuss the plans, and if they approve, the construction will end by mid-2029. Live in Coral Gables, Lauren Tomac, UMTV.
Thank you, Lauren. Switching gears now, according to the Annie E. Casey Foundation, more than 5 million children in the U.S. have had a parent incarcerated.
Amanda Mohammed is here with us to tell us more about one Miami nonprofit hoping to break the cycle and stigma.
Yeah, guys, 300 Letters is actually based right here in Coral Gables, but their reach is far beyond Miami. They're really looking to tackle incarceration throughout the entire state, but it's not just about helping those who are currently incarcerated. It's also about helping their families who are really just going through the trauma with them. In fact, in Florida alone, more than 300,000 children currently have a parent behind bars, and the state actually ranks 3rd in the entire nation for total prison population.
And how does someone recovering from incarceration get involved in these programs like 300 Letters?
Well, actually, their programs start inside of the prison. The founders and their team, they visit the prisons to let those incarcerated know that they have someone to turn to, not only during their incarceration, but also after their sentence. And once they are released, many of these families kind of go into this survivor mode. They're really just trying to make ends meet, but they also have to grapple what they've been through. But 300 Letters provides all sorts of resources for them, from therapy to entrepreneurship programs, to really help make that transition easier. I had the chance to learn how it all began.
It amazes me sometimes that we're still here together.
300 letters. That's the number of letters Amanda and Legend Tarver exchanged while they were incarcerated at the same time in 2013 for drug dealing.
We couldn't have even understood, the outcome of the decisions.
I did everything that I could to get extra money, so I even, at some point sold chocolates. Once that became not enough, I used what I had access to, and sure enough, found my way to selling drugs.
When Amanda and Legend were arrested, Amanda was just 23 years old, a single mom to a 5-year-old son, and working full-time as a medical assistant. But during this time, Amanda faced more than a prison sentence.
My son's biological father passes away a month prior to my surrender date, and I find out 2 weeks into my incarceration sentence that I'm pregnant with my second son.
Since they were co-defendants on the same case, the court banned Amanda and Legend from any direct contact with each other. But the further the prison system pushed them apart, the harder they fought to stay together.
I was the middle person. They used to write letters to me. She used to write them to him and then send them to me. I would repackage them and send it to him.
But it took several years before Amanda and Legend found the courage to tell their story and turn their pain into purpose. That's how their nonprofit 300 Letters was born in 2021.
300 Letters to Programs, Healing Hearts, and 300 Heroes focuses on 3 crucial pillars: family, financial, and emotional, each customized to fit every family's needs. To date, 300 Letters has served more than 700 families and counting across the state of Florida, and they hope to expand nationally. The Tarvers launched 300 Letters during the pandemic as video meeting programs such as Zoom opened new avenues for connection. And for newly released mothers like Beatrice Wari, the convenience of online programs matters now more than ever.
I was supposed to come home in May, but everything happened with immigration, so I ended up coming home in August. And not necessarily home, I'm in Mexico.
Because of 300 Letters online programs, Beatrice continues to heal from her incarceration while working with immigration services in Mexico to come back to Miami.
This person that I'm working on and this person that I'm proud of, that's who I want to bring home. That's who I want my kid around.
While 300 once represented the number of letters sent during a dark time for the Tarver family, it's now become their lucky number.
Yeah, you see, this one was yours.
300 Letters also holds several community events for their families throughout the year, such as their annual holiday toy drive, which will be on December 13th. To learn more, visit 300letters.org or go to their Instagram at 300letters.
Thanks, Amanda. Now it's time for another short break, but still ahead. Spread cheese, not hate. We will show you one group on campus de-stressing one bagel at a time. Plus, she's the MVP, literally. We will bring you the story of one girl who shows that the mindset is more important than age. Stay with us.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire. How to control the flames. What to do with hot coals. How to secure your chains. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how sketch is vaping? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes, look at that. You even turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you have to get it trending. Right, Backpack Kid?
Let's do it.
First, invite your kid to do the vape talk. Let's try this. All right.
Why is he here?
Yeah, I gotta get it trending, honey.
Come on. Let's go.
Oh, honey, can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
I see a lot of your friends vaping.
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
Thank you for staying with this hour-long edition of NewsVision. I'm Taryn Jacobs.
And I'm Johnny Muschin. On Wednesday, University of Miami Hillel hosted its annual event, Spread Cream Cheese, Not Hate, which first started here in 2022. The event aims to raise awareness about the rise of anti-Semitism on college campuses. People passing by can grab a free bagel in exchange for signing a petition against hate, specifically against the Jewish community.
We have a pretty positive campus, and we're very lucky to have that. Our students, our administration, everybody is very supportive of the Jewish people here, which is something we're very grateful for. But I think that what we wanted to do was spread overall positivity, especially during a time finals are coming up, everybody's stressed. We wanted just to show how we can support one another.
This event is an opportunity for Jewish students and allies of the Jewish community to come together and feel safe expressing their religion on campus. Those who received a bagel were required to scan a QR code, which led them to an online petition. Then they could sign the large bagel poster in person as well. The booth also had a variety of information about anti-Semitism on college campuses and stickers saying "Spread cream cheese, not hate" and "Anti-Semitism." This year's event collected over 240 signatures of people pledging to stop the spread of hate.
Well, Johnny, what an incredible event that was, but I really do miss my New Jersey bagels, so that made me excited for them when I go home.
Well, I mean, yeah, Thanksgiving's right around the corner. I'm super excited to get a bagel, but I'm also not looking forward to the cold weather up in the Northeast.
It's definitely be cold up there in New Jersey, but for those staying here in Florida, hopefully they have some sunnier conditions. Our student meteorologist, William DePella, is live in studio to tell us. William?
Yeah, guys, we got some really nice temperatures here in Miami. Just take a look at all of Florida right now. We see much of the state is really toasty, hovering right around those mid to upper 70s. That's the case for us down here in Miami. We're hovering right around that 77-degree mark. As we push further north in Florida, as we get into that panhandle near Tallahassee, there in the upper 60s and the lower 70s. So it's a lot colder up there, but all of Florida is dealing with some really nice temperatures. Now, along with these really nice temperatures, we haven't had much rain. This is going to continue for this weekend and tomorrow. We do see some spotty showers popping up early tomorrow morning if you're potentially going out for an early morning run before those temperatures do start to get a little bit too unbearable. We see those spotty showers potentially popping up. This isn't going to be a widespread event, so nothing too bad, so don't change your plans. Those shower chances are going to stick around as we push throughout the rest of the day on Friday, and then we see once again on Saturday those shower chances are still going to be bothering us along this coast as we do have a heavy sea breeze pushing on, so those shower chances will be slightly increased. Once again, this isn't going to be a widespread event, so you're not going to want to change any of your plans, and you could potentially go to the beach. As we see, it is going to be very dry out there. We see this very dark blue color. This means it's going to be really comfortable outside, not that unbearable humidity that we're so used to, not a lot of water vapor in the atmosphere. This is unfortunately going to change as we start to push into early next week. We see it's going to start to get a little bit more moist as the front does push through, and then unfortunately, as we push throughout the middle of next week, we do see those moisture values start to really increase, and with that, those rain chances are going to increase. That rain is going to be good because we see as we're pushing into our dry season, see much of the area is unbearably dry right now, and there is a potential for a moderate drought to start to spread its way here closer to us in the Miami area. And along with that, our football team is traveling up to Blacksburg. We see that the rain is going to be bothering them there. They should be used to the rain as we've been dealing with a lot of rain this season. Now look at that 7-day forecast. For us down here, we got those nice temperatures and low rain chances.
Thank you, William. Our next story highlights a group of students who have talent and a desire to help the community in a hands-on way.
And in the studio to tell us more, we have Kelly McDermott.
Thank you guys so much. Here at UM, a lot of classes are really lecture heavy, but the School of Architecture offers this really interesting class where students don't just sit around sketching their ideas, they actually build them for real clients. And they don't just serve Miami. These students go above and beyond to help underserved communities across the state. I had the chance to learn more. At the University of Miami, architecture students spend their days sketching, modeling, and imagining the spaces of tomorrow. But behind studio doors, there's something unusual happening that goes far beyond the typical classroom assignment. These students don't just plan their projects, they actually build them.
Because students rarely get the opportunity for hands-on building, but also to do something not only that they design and see it through construction, but to see it for a real client and see how they respond to it and feel the satisfaction, immediate satisfaction of knowing that they're building something that is significant and for the community.
You have deadlines, you have lots to do, lots to think about, lots to consider, and then the fact that this is an actual real project that you're building means that what you're choosing to do actually has an impact.
It all starts at the Design Build Studio classes. Every year, these students take on projects for underserved local organizations. This year, it's designing classrooms for Ocean Studies Charter School in Key Largo. And before that, they designed and built their very own studio.
We built not the concrete structure, but the infill panels, all of the wood louvers in the building, as well as the interiors of the containers that are in the background.
The clients are all happy.
Oh my gosh, we're so beyond grateful. This just plays right into who we are as a school and our foundation and our mission of making our kids or helping our kids grow up to be environmental advocates.
But the hands-on classes are not just about measuring tapes and nails. It's about seeing their projects be used every single day by school children.
it's really beautiful, and you see them playing around the structure. You see them using the structure in like a way you never thought of them like using, or even like we designed some stuff thinking that they were gonna use it. So actually seeing them like use it how we thought they were gonna use it, it's actually pretty beautiful.
And while each project has its own story, the Design Build Studio isn't just about one school or structure. It's a class with a clear purpose: to serve the community through architecture. It's pretty amazing to see how our fellow students make such an impact on other communities, and the classrooms are just one example. What was most interesting to me is how the students from years past actually built the very studio they make these projects in. On top of that, the students had to make all of their structures in that studio and then take it apart to transport it down to Key Largo. And in January, they'll be choosing what community to take on next.
Thank you, Kelly. Also on campus, today is a big day for everyone's favorite mascot, Sebastian the Ibis. Miami men's basketball is throwing a birthday celebration right now outside the Watsco Center in honor of Sebastian turning 67 years old. And Noah Gully and Jaden Coey is live outside, just outside of the party. Guys, what is the party looking like?
Well, Johnny, the party is looking great. The energy here at the U to celebrate Sebastian is certainly palpable. The Ibis became the school's mascot because it's known for being the last bird to leave when hurricanes come in and the first one to arrive when the hurricanes leave.
But no, the Ibis actually has a much longer history with the university than that. The Ibis was first recognized as the unofficial mascot by the yearbook The Ibis back in 1926, but was more recognized as the official mascot in the 50s. And now, I mean, Sebastian the Ibis is one of the most iconic and famous mascots in college athletics history. Let's also talk about how it's the year of the 6'7" trend, and it's also the 67th birthday.
Yeah, it's perfect, ironic,
it
iconic,
is.
it's perfect. But because of that fame, Sebastian earned himself in this year's class of the Mascot Hall of Fame. Sebastian has become a beloved part of Miami culture between his famous cane spell out at every football game and presenting his Miami pride with his dance moves and love for Cafecito.
He has a love in a lot of places. He even got engaged recently to another special Ibis named Gigi, who will surely make an appearance tonight along with some other mascots, a birthday cake, and plenty of cane soups to celebrate the night, and everyone's invited. We'll be back later for live updates of the Elon Phoenix as they take on the Miami Hurricanes.
Thanks, guys. Dance, gymnastics, soccer, all typical sports that young girls decide to get involved with. But this 10-year-old is paving her own path. Take a look.
At 10 years old, Mia's life looks a lot like anyone else's her age, hanging out with friends and family, going to school, and playing with her furry little friend.
I actually do like chorus, and I sing, and I love to play with my dog.
But behind all the typical fun, a different world comes alive. Gloves pounding bags, feet shuffling on the mat, and guys of all ages taking some of their daily anger out.
Sometimes it's a little bit busier than others. Sometimes I do more work special with her one-on-one, but sometimes she trains with other, but she's used to it.
So when I first introduced boxing to Mia, she was like, absolutely not. The thought of that was like, that's for boys, that's scary, not my thing. And to be honest, she did not have an athletic bone in her body.
But Mia Victoria Perez, aka MVP, has found a passion within the sport of boxing after starting just over a year ago, inspired by her favorite movie and one of the most iconic sports movies, Rocky.
My name is Baby Rocky Victoria Victoria Perez.
But I thought that she was either going to throw up her fate and then never go back. But she left there saying, I'm ready to go back and do it again. So that's when I realized on the very first day that she already had this passion for boxing.
It just feels so great, and it feels like I could do anything now.
And she's not just boxing every day after school. Mia's daily routine starts early, as in 5:30 a.m. early, with cold plunges, conditioning, and non-stop training, creating unmatched discipline.
I mean, she impressed me every day, but just come in and show up, early and try to give the best out of her. That's, like I said, that's not something common that you see every day, especially on a girl at that age.
She just always feels like I can do this and I can do better. And failure really only makes her want to try even harder.
And that discipline has transformed Mia from shy and timid to confident and driven.
Like she's becoming like a young woman. You know, she started with a little girl, now she's walking into the gym, she'll go, you know, person to person, say hi to herself. So people's skills have gone up, but the confidence is there.
Yeah, I've like definitely become more social and stuff, and I used to be really shy, and now I have self-defense and I can do anything.
And all that work is already paying off. Mia is a state junior Olympic champion and ranks #2 in her age group nationally.
I know that like all like the days I don't want to go, it'll pay off and I'll become a champion one day.
And she is inspiring the next generation of female boxers.
I just love it actually. Like I just want to open doors for other girls and see that it's like you could put anything you want to do. Like you just have to work for it.
Her coach describes Mia with these 3 words.
Talent, discipline, and toughness.
What is the goal one day?
The goal is to go to the Olympics and become professional. So.
Mia is only 10, but she's already making her mark, proving that heart and hard work are what really matter in the ring.
Mia's biggest challenge is not only her gender, but her size and her age. This makes it difficult for her to match up at fights. Her next fight will be this December in Texas.
Time for a short break, but don't go anywhere because coming up, Hurricanes say goodbye to their seniors in a dominant senior night victory. And then later on, how Miami men's basketball can bounce back tonight against the Elon Phoenix. Welcome to sports. I'm Shea McDonald. Learning does not stop after students leave the classroom. Extracurricular activities, sports, and mentoring programs also teach children important skills and live lessons. And one organization in Miami-Dade found a way to combine 3 different areas of learning for children who may not have the same opportunities elsewhere. Delaney Haddad has the story.
In the heart of Coral Gables is a place where young students can find a home away from home. An organization built on community with the goal of strengthening youth academic, social, and developmental success.
What we do is we introduce the students to STEM through hands-on activities. And so it's really just about getting them excited about learning and getting them to know that their curiosity is a good thing.
The Home Team is an after-school program devoted to the development of young students with an emphasis on immersive learning. Since it opened in 2015, the nonprofit has helped more than 6,000 kids, and it all started with Miami native Alex Poe.
What we're really trying to do is occupy kids' free times and help them make informed decisions during that time. So it doesn't matter if it's our jiu-jitsu component, if our STEM component, homework help, cultural component. We want to provide an opportunity to connect with these kids and kind of open their eyes to new possibilities.
With a lot of organizations, especially as they get really large, they tend to lose that personal connection to the people they work with. But I don't see that at all in the Home Team. With Coach Poe, for example, when he walks through the halls, he knows the kids and he says hi to them and stuff like that. It goes back to connectedness that they have with everyone that I think really sets them unique to the rest.
Forming real, genuine relationships with the students, its volunteers, and the surrounding community is the foundational pillar that the Home Team stands on.
I played football for a while, and that's how I met Coach Poe. And so when I stopped playing football, I was looking for things to do. And so I decided to get involved. I think he's a really wonderful community leader. He's just really open to new ideas and he's open to helping you out. He's just one of those people that will do the right thing and they will help you. So it's just really cool to have that type of support.
Right now I'm on the executive support team for Hurricane Capital. Alex actually introduced me to Chris Napoli, the founder, directly, so that's how I got that opportunity there. Meeting Alex really pushed me and got me into doors that I never would have thought I would have gotten into before, like working for a hedge fund. I would take the Home Team as one of the best experiences I've had in my life. If I could join that program again, I would recommend it to anyone.
The Home Team expands further than the programs it provides. It's a community, a family.
It's like having another child, and there's a huge connection that you end up creating with these children. So it's incredibly rewarding. Some of our kids been there for their graduation from high school and college. It's really neat to see the actual difference you're making.
Do you guys know Alex?
Yeah, he is my friend.
Or you know you're going to be part of their family, and they're going to be part of your family for the rest of your lives.
Delaney Haddad, UMTV.
Thanks, Delaney. Canes football had a big-time senior night win, so let's take it to Hard Rock Stadium for the highlights. Miami taking on NC State, and Carson Beck checking out on Marty Brown, who gets popped here, loses the football. It's NC State ball, but Jacoby Thomas on the other end picks it off. He's going down the sideline. It looks like he has 6, but he wants a little bit of contact. Waves to CJ Bailey, says, bring it on. Trucks him into the end zone, and there goes 10 points for the Hurricanes early on here, getting it started. Bailey trying to recover, but he's going to throw it to Thomas again, his second pick on the day, 4th on the season. Now on offense is Malachi Tony, the high school quarterback, back-to-back games with a trick play with Tony throwing a pass, and JoJo Trader goes down inside the 5-yard line. And Marty Brown, making up for a mistake earlier, pushes his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Canes up 17 quick, but they're not satisfied. Beck in the pocket, lobs it up to Tony, and that's 24 points in the first half, the most he scored in the half since September. Into the second half, it's senior night, but the freshman's making consistent plays. Gerard Pringle, 116 yards on the day on the ground. He had a phenomenal day, and in the air, it's Josh Moore. Somebody call Randy, because that guy just got mossed, and the finishing touches, who else but Malachi Tony, running into the end zone. Canes score 40 and win 41-7. And for one Miami safety, the move to Miami brought new challenges, but also a new mindset. Poyser made the move to Miami last December after spending 2 seasons at Jacksonville State. A big jump in both stage and competition.
You know, Jacksonville State is a smaller school than Miami, so like it kind of made me, I'm blessed for it because it kind of made me grateful for everything we have here, like all the resources and stuff. Football is football at the end of the day, but it's a talent jump for sure.
Despite the talent jump, Poyser has proven his place and carved out a role in the Miami defense, currently 6th in tackles with 32. Now Hurricanes men's basketball faced a huge test against the defending national champions. So let's head to Jacksonville for the highlights. Canes basketball taking on the defending national champion Florida Gators. And is that Jacoby Thomas? No, it's True Washington going coast to coast with a pick 2 right there to get the Canes scoring. Now it's his backcourt mate Trey Donaldson, who's hitting this one from behind the arc. He's not shot well, but he finds the mark right there. Now it's the big man driving to the lane, slams it down. He had 16 on the night with a big time, and it's the other big man for the Canes. It's Trey Donaldson to Ernest Uday. Look at the pass right there, and that's why Donaldson is leading the Canes with 6 assists per night. Had 6 during this game. Into the second half, and Donaldson's now going to be the recipient of this one from True Washington. He's streaking down the court, lays it in for a bucket right there. Canes are fighting in this one, and now it's True Washington going to work. He cuts inside, makes a spin, keeps the ball, and one, count it, with the foul. Canes are in striking distance, but it's not enough to keep themselves in this one. How? With the 3. He had 3 3-pointers made during this game, and it's Klavzar with 4 3-pointers made, and the Canes are going to fall for the first time in the Jay Lucas era, 82-68. After a loss to Florida on Saturday, Miami men's basketball is going to look to bounce back and keep building their early momentum as they host the Elon Phoenixes. Jaden and Noah are back at the Watsco Center for the latest from the game. Guys, what's going on?
Well, Shay, it's a pretty close game here at the Watsco Center right now. Miami's currently leading Elon 14-13 through about 10 minutes through the first half.
Yeah, their leading scorer thus far is True Washington. He's a recent transfer from New Mexico. He's leading with 5 points.
Yes, the junior certainly came out hot, starting 100% from the floor, so the Miami Hurricanes will have to continue that momentum if they want the lead margin to grow throughout the game.
Absolutely. That's a big goal for the Hurricanes so far in the season. It's early games, yes, of course, but this is the tone setter for the rest of the season.
And with a lot of season left this year, what does this Canes team need to prove moving forward?
Well, Shay, Miami entered tonight's matchup with a 3-1 record, seemingly a year to the day that they found themselves in the exact same spot before going on a stretch where they dropped 16 of their next 17 games.
But it's important to keep in mind that this is an entirely new roster, and it's a very fresh roster too. All of their starting lineup is either freshmen or transfers, including senior transfer who's been a leader all season, Malik Renew. He's averaging over 21 points per game. Some other leaders for the Hurricanes include Trey Donaldson and Ernest Uday Jr. Eden is also coming in at 3-1 and is coming off momentum after a home win.
Yes, exactly, Jaden. So for this Hurricanes team to prove that this year's 3-1 start is not the same as last year, the team under first-year head coach Jay Lucas is going to have to prove that 3-1 is entirely different this year.
Live from the Watsco Center, I'm Jaden Cohey.
And I'm Noah Gully.
Back to you.
Thanks, guys. Soccer and schoolwork might sound like an unlikely pair, but for one Miami program, the two go hand in hand. As Dylan Davis tells us, Miami Scores is helping students develop both their athletic and academic skills through the power of teamwork.
At first glance, this looks like any after-school soccer game. But what's happening here is about much more than just playing the game. In Miami-Dade County, more than half of public school students grades 3 to 10 read below grade level. That literacy gap is worse in underdeserved communities, and it's one of the challenges that Miami Scores sets out to address.
Each week, a school does 2 days a week in the classroom doing poetry, 3 days a week doing soccer, and every Friday is a game day for them as well.
Soccer offers a place where kids feel part of a team. When practice ends, these students trade their cleats for pencils and start writing poems.
I like writing poems, especially rhyme poems. I like rhyming. I don't know why. It just sounds cool. And I like hanging around my friends. It helped me learn so that I can do anything that I want. Just be careful what you think before you do.
Here at Miami Scores, it's not just about how you play the game. It's also about what you have to say. These students head inside the classroom to write poetry, taking the lessons they learn on the field to the lessons that they learn in life. Community support plays a big role in making this program possible, and parents and families say they see the impact every day.
My favorite part is just watching the little young girls having a great time and, putting forth effort.
The program's impact is clear in the students' growth. In 2024 alone, Miami Scores served more than 250 Title I youth across 6 schools.
And this is our second year teaming up with the Miami Scores program, which is super amazing because it actually gives the students an opportunity to develop leadership and creativity through soccer and poetry. Two of the most unlikeliest combinations, but what we've found is that the students are really, really excelling in teamwork, collaboration, their leadership ability, and their creativity in and off the field, especially with the poetry component.
Through the power of sports and a little bit of poetry, Miami Scores is helping students write their own future. For UMTV, I'm Dylan Davis.
Time for a quick break, but when we return, we'll visit one historical neighborhood in Miami where new construction is threatening preservation. And the Miami Book Fair has returned to celebrate literature across South Florida. We'll be right back.
Our next story takes us to Overtown in downtown Miami, where a new investment into the neighborhood could put it back up on the map. Sumner Bradley joins us now with more.
Thanks, Johnny. The city of Miami is taking a closer look at how one of its oldest neighborhoods are changing. In Overtown, a new redevelopment plan is promising new growth, but it's also raising questions about who that growth is really for. If you go to Overtown today, you can see that new apartments, restaurants, and hotels are moving in, and with that comes higher rent. That's pushing longtime residents out, and many say the community's identity is slowly disappearing.
This is Overtown, in the heart of downtown Miami. It's the city's original black neighborhood, known as the Harlem of the South. It was a place where black businesses flourished and legends like Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong filled the streets with music.
At that time, it was all love. Everybody knew each other, it was a family.
Back in the days when this was a segregated South, performers would perform on Miami Beach. So when they finished performing over there, they would come over to Overtown to perform in the nightclubs for free.
But that history changed in the 1960s when I-95 was built straight through the community. Homes were demolished, businesses were closed, and many families were forced to leave.
Before the expressway came through, this was a community of 40,000 people. By the time they were finished with I-95 and then cutting the community in half and then cutting it in fourths by running the metro rail through, it has dwindled down to a community of 6,000.
Let's bring I-95 through the community. They slowly chip away at the community to where that structure It's no longer there.
For decades, Overtown was left behind, but now a $175 million redevelopment plan is helping the neighborhood bounce back.
We are focusing on affordable housing. At the top of the list is adding additional 2,000 housing units to the community.
Y'all want 2,000, 3,000 for a one-bedroom, and that's ridiculous.
Now, around 7,000 people still live here in Overtown today, and half of those people live below the poverty line. Homes like these have been in Overtown for generations, but now the CRA's new housing plan suggests tearing all of these apartments down and building new apartments that cost between $900 and $1,200 per month, which for many Overtown residents is still way too high.
McQueen says that the CRA is trying to make sure that longtime residents can stay.
We recently opened a senior citizens apartment, 573 new units that sits atop a Target. We have over 100 residents, senior residents from Overtown who moved there, and we are subsidizing parts of their rent so they will be able to afford to live in those units.
The CRA director says the goal is to grow without losing the neighborhood's identity.
I don't want Overtown to be either North Downtown or South Windwood. I want people, when they come to Overtown, they know that they're in Overtown. I hope that in 2042, this time will be known as the Renaissance of Overtown.
Now, people I spoke with say that they're not against new development. They just want to make sure that the community that built Overtown is still here to benefit from it. That includes more affordable housing, support for locally owned businesses, and investment in historic spaces.
Thank you, Sumner. Now, Taryn, it's going to be a busy weekend in the airports. People flying home for Thanksgiving. Are you flying anywhere soon?
I am. I'm heading up to Blacksburg tomorrow morning to go to the Virginia Tech Miami game, so we'll see if my flight makes it out on time.
Well, hopefully. I mean, the weather is going to be a big impact on that. So we're going to turn it over to student meteorologist Ann Badowski to tell us a little bit more. Ann?
Yeah, exactly, Taryn. As you are heading out tomorrow, we have some beautiful temperatures that we're going to be waking up to. We have 76 degrees as we're opening our eyes in the morning. Our temperatures are going to peak out at 81 degrees, but weather delays are going to stay incredibly unlikely. We'll barely have any clouds in the sky as well. Where you might be seeing some weather delays is if you are heading home to the southern plains. You can see a large area is in a marginal risk right now for some severe weather. The main issue is going to be some flooding and extreme rainfall rates that we could be seeing. Even right now, you can see just how much rainfall is in the area around Dallas. This storm system is going to be pushing into the Ohio Valley region. As we head into tomorrow morning, more widespread rain that is going to be leading to those extreme rainfall rates. That storm is going to be pushing into the mid-Atlantic though, so if you are heading home, unfortunately you are going to be greeted by some storms if you are on the East Coast. Luckily, these areas that aren't seeing that much rain right now will be having some rainfall a little bit later. You can see in Montana and in Wyoming, they're going to be having above average precipitation for their Thanksgiving weekend, which is in 6 to 10 days. Even here in Miami, we are seeing a bit above average for what we would normally be expecting, but unfortunately it's going to pair with some hotter than normal temperatures as the rest of the country is dealing with this polar vortex that is going to be bringing temperatures below what they would normally be expecting. As you are looking at these future temperatures as well, you can see next Friday at 8 a.m. These temperatures are very chilly. Chicago with 27 degrees, up in Bismarck with 14 degrees. Miami is getting out of all of this polar vortex situation with 76 degrees. Luckily, those temperatures are going to be staying a little bit frigid for those Christmas and Thanksgiving activities, so hopefully you guys are staying warm when you go home.
Thank you, Ann. If you were in downtown Miami today, you might have noticed the crowds. The city is hosting a tradition that celebrates writing and literature. The Miami Book Fair has returned for its 42nd year at Miami-Dade College's Wolfson campus, welcoming authors, readers, and families for a week packed with literary events. The festival features hundreds of writers from around the world, with readings in English, Spanish, and Haitian Creole. The popular street fair has also returned with book tents, local artisans, a variety of food options, and plenty to do for the kids in the Children's Alley. One notable writer visiting the book fair this year is the current U.S. poet laureate Author Z.
So poetry has a very particular way it can bring people together and make these emotional and imaginative connections. And I think we need that because, again, with media, with the internet, we're full of distractions.
Z is scheduled to speak at 8 tonight. at MDC's Wolfson campus as part of the fair's Evening with series. For anyone looking to catch more literary events, the festival will continue through the weekend until November 23rd.
Well, I guess that's going to be it for us on the desk this semester, Taryn.
That is it. One more semester to go with NewsVision.
It's absolutely, well, one more semester left for us
college
at the school,
forever.
which is terrifying, but it's been so much fun being able to do the show with you, Taryn. I gotta be real.
100%. I'm definitely going to miss it, but that's all the time we have for this semester on NewsVision. Thank you for joining us for this special 1-hour episode.
We will be back next semester, same time, same place. Have a happy holiday season.